Good evening, everybody. I hope everyone had a lovely Christmas and New Year. Apologies for the very, very strange lighting in this room. It appears that I need to use some sort of flash to get a good lighting and turn the rest of the lights off, so it might look a bit weird because it's all dark in the background. I just wanted to welcome you to something that I thought of when I was on the plane to America over Christmas, and that was trying to do 30 Facebook or Instagram lives in 30 days. Now, let's get this up on the laptop. 2 seconds. There you go. So the reason why I thought about doing 30 lives of some sort in 30 days is because I've been doing Facebook lives, Instagram lives for probably the last 3 years. So I thought, what better time to do free advice and free content in January, when most people are going to need a bit of a helping hand with losing weight, getting in shape, becoming fitter. So I want you to ask any questions you have nice and early, and I'll do my best to answer any questions throughout this short live Q&A. Now, I'm committed to doing 30 lives. That is through Facebook and Instagram. So the next live I'll be doing is on Instagram, and I think I'll be doing a morning one tomorrow, and I'll vary it between some lunch times and some evenings as well. So if you are free during the day and you want to ask a question, you can live, but the majority of them will be evenings as well. So bear with me. I'm just going to get this live up. So if you've got any questions, get them across nice and early. And this can be to do with anything from nutrition, training, lifestyle, whatever you want really. And I'll do my best to answer it. There you go. There I am. So the reason why it is good to give out free advice, and why I will want to give out free advice this time of year, is because I've been in the industry well over 10 years now, and I'm probably not the most accredited nutrition advisor, or I'm not the most highly qualified trainer, but I've been in the industry, like I said, for over 10 years, and I've helped a lot of people. So where I'm coming from is that I've worked with a lot of different kind of people with different problems, and I want to just basically help anyone, give them a little kickstart this year into how they can improve their fitness or weight loss or become fitter, stronger, leaner, whatever it may be. And I've got some notes prepared as always. I dare say by the end of the 30 days, I'll be an absolute pro at live Q&As that I won't even need any notes. So if the lighting's a bit weird, I keep like sort of fading in and out and all sorts. Anyway, enough rambling, Mr. Grimshaw. Let's get on with it. So I've typed this 3 things to do in 2020, or three things not to do in 2020. So the first one being is don't low calorie diet this time of year. Now, the reason I say this is because not everyone does it, but a lot of people do it, is they go maybe a little bit overboard at Christmas, maybe a little bit overboard in that time between Christmas and New Year, maybe a little bit overboard New Year's, and they're consuming a lot of calories through alcohol, through food they wouldn't normally eat. And what people tend to do, as soon as January comes, they sort of automatically put themselves on a mega low calorie diet. Now, the only problem with this is your body is going to be slightly conditioned, if you've been doing it for the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks of the year, of having a massive surplus of calories. So if you've been, consuming, let's say 3,000 to 4,000 calories a day over the Christmas period, and then suddenly you decide to embark on a 1,200 calorie diet come January because you want to obviously lose weight. The only problem with this is your body has got so conditioned to having 3,000 to 4,000 calories per day, you are going to be fucking starving on 1,200 calories. And this is why people tend to fall off the bandwagon in the first 2-3 weeks of the new year, because we all got good intentions in the new year. We all want to do a little bit better. So you almost punish yourself these first 2-3 weeks of the year by putting yourself on a low calorie diet because you think it's the right thing to do. Now, essentially it is the right thing to do because you are going to lose weight, but you're not going to be able to maintain this for a long period of time. It is not sustainable. So what's the solution to do at the start of January is don't go low calorie dieting. Set yourself an achievable amount of calories so your body can have some time to transition from a hypocaloric surplus of having 3,000-4,000 calories per day, and just bring it down just slightly. So let's say you're having 3,000 calories per day. If you bring it down to 2,000 as well, you're definitely going to lose a bit of water, you're definitely going to lose a bit of fat, and your body will thank you for it. So you don't need to go absolutely crazy on day one. And that's the biggest mistake people make. That's why you see all the fads, all the quick loss plans, all the shakes, diet pills and whatever that all promise this quick result. And essentially, it is what we want, is a quick result. Who doesn't want a quick result? But the way it works is that you need to take your time with these things. You can't do everything, low calorie diet, exercise, all in things in week one. You have to take baby steps. So my suggestion for you would be take small steps going into January. Focus on just slowly improving your diet. Doesn't mean totally changing everything you eat. It just means making subtle improvements on what you're doing, i.e. maybe cut out snacking, i.e. maybe improve the amount of calories you're eating at lunch or breakfast or dinner, i.e. maybe not drinking alcohol for the first week or so. And just making these subtle changes, you will lose fat or you lose weight as well. And the second thing is not to do, there you go, is not to do. This is not to do, by the way, is to hit the gym full out 100% from day dot. So the only problem is if you've spent 2-3 weeks off the gym or not bothering as much, and then you really want to get in shape, or you haven't even trained before, that's the other thing, you haven't even trained before, and then you're hitting the gym as hard as you can in the first few weeks of the year, there's a good job. A, you're going to get injured. B, you're going to get fed up. And C, you're going to just burn out. You're going to be absolutely fucked by the end of it. Now, I've seen this a lot. Now, I've worked as obviously a PT and obviously run group training at CSU. And you can see when maybe someone takes out a membership, they want to do every single session under the sun because they believe it is the right thing to do. You know, more training, the better. But that isn't always the case, especially if you're not used to the amount of training of like 4, 5, 6 times a week. Maybe if you've trained for years and your body can handle that amount of volume, then yeah, maybe doing 5 sessions a week isn't such a big thing. But if you're starting off, 5 sessions a week is a lot. And like I said, A, you're going to get injured, which is kind of counterintuitive because it's going to set you back when you do get injured another month or so because you can't train through an injury. You're going to get burnt out. You're going to get fed up with the training. You're going to start to resent the gym and you're going to not look forward to going. And C, generally, you're going to get fed up to fuck of going to the gym because it becomes a chore rather than something you enjoy. So what I suggest will be very good in the new year is if you want to exercise or move as much as possible, try and break up the training you're doing. So if you're doing, say, 5, if you're attempting to do 5 really hard workouts a week, why don't, crazy as it sounds, you just do 3 good solid workouts in the gym per week. And the other 2 days that you have where you would normally try and force yourself to go, maybe A, do something like go swimming or go for a walk or do something else outside of the gym that isn't going to be too devastating on your body. Because essentially, you know, your body can only handle so much volume and intensity for exercise. If you're smart with it, you can break it up with some lower intensity exercise such as swimming. You could do some cross trainer. You could even do some walking. And that way your body's still going to be burning energy on them not rest days, but then days where you normally hit the gym hard. Because I don't know about you, if I hit 3-4 gym sessions hard in a week and I try for that 5th gym session, I am burnt out because I'm battered from the previous session. And I know in that 5th session, I'm not going to give it my all. So really, there's no point. I'm better off taking a strategic recovery day or recovery 2 days and get myself fresh for the following session. Get me? All right, there's a couple of people watching now. Surely someone, please, needs to either like this post, 21 people, I expect 21 likes to come across, please now, because you are liking it and you've been watching it for a little while. So can you please like it? And even better, do you know what? As crazy as it sounds, I'd love it if you shared this post as well. Good, we've had a couple of likes. Thank you so much. I've got to do this for 30 days. I need a little bit of support as well to keep me going through. Okay, what else not to do or to do in the new year? Now, what not to do is compare yourself to other people. And, it's easy instead of done. It is quite hard not to compare yourself to other people, maybe other family members, partners, friends, even people you train with in the gym. Because essentially, if two people are doing the same training program and maybe following the same diet and they're doing everything exactly the same as their mate in the gym or their training partner, sometimes that can be two different outcomes for each person. One person may be able to drop fat a little bit quicker, one person may be able to get stronger a little bit quicker. But it doesn't mean to say your progress isn't important. And that is one of the biggest things with bugbears about social media, is we're constantly comparing ourselves to people on Instagram that we don't even know. The amount of people you see, I don't know, like people have that little folder on their phone of screenshots of like Instagram models, like body goals and whatnot and whatever that you aspire to be. And the reality is that these guys who are on Instagram that are putting across this whole sort of fitness lifestyle, eating every meal correctly, training a couple of times a week, that's not applicable for the everyday person. Maybe that person's whole purpose in life, their sole job, is to look good. And that's fine, but they're paid for that. They are paid to look good. Most people who are watching this live, or maybe, I don't know, aren't paid to look good. We have jobs, we have partners, we have kids, we have work, we have all these other stresses in life that make up a whole day, that we should be striving for that 0.1 perfection that Instagram portrays or Facebook portrays, because it simply isn't achievable for the average person. So firstly, do not compare what someone else is doing on social media. Do not compare how your mate's doing. Do not compare how your other family members are doing, if they're doing the same thing. It's different for every single person. I cannot stress this enough. So what you can do, so you already said not to compare yourself to other people. What you can do is set yourself, itchy nose. What you can do is set yourself realistic goals for 2020. Now, this is really important, because how do you know if you've achieved anything if you don't have a tangible goal? If you don't have an end product? No, an end goal. How do you know if you've achieved anything or not? That can be a weight loss goal. That can be a new back squat PB. That could be a faster 5K run. That can be anything. So the way you've got to break it down is you need to think of the bigger goal. Let's say, for example, Sharon wants to lose 2 stone. Now, realistically, Sharon isn't going to lose 2 stone in the first month of training. She isn't. No matter if fucking Slimming World or whatever tell her she is, she's not going to lose 2 stone a month. It's just impossible. And if she does, she'll probably regain it back like that. Do you know what I mean? So the way Sharon has to look at it is give herself a realistic time to achieve this 2 stone. Now, Sharon knows that maybe she's, out most weekends, being social, that she needs to give herself a longer time frame to be able to achieve this 2 stone. She's not going to be able to get it done in 2 months, okay? Unless she does give up everything in her life just to achieve this goal, which realistically most people can't do, or most people don't want to do, or most people shouldn't actually do. So she needs to give herself a realistic time. But on the same token, she doesn't want to give herself too much time, because then the goal becomes almost too far away. We get that sort of habit of going, I'll start next week. And then we don't actually really sort of get on with what we're trying to do. So set yourself a realistic goal. Now, when you've got the goal set of where you want to be, try and set yourself up with small targets along the way. So if Sharon's trying to lose her 2 stone, she knows the habits, what she needs to do in order to lose that 2 stone. So week 1, she might set herself a target of, okay, I'm not going to snack between meals. And that's her target for week 1. She does that for week 2 as well. She's achieved that for 2 weeks. So what she do? Think of another habit that is going to aid her weight loss. I.e., maybe I should be doing, 12,000 steps a day. So that's another habit. She does that for another 2 weeks. Tick, tick. So she's already stopped snacking for 2 weeks. She's already started walking 12,000 steps a day. She's already built 2 solid habits that are going to help her get to her 2 stone. Not, I need to lose £5 in the first week, £5 in the second week, £5 in the third and fourth week. She's looking at the habits that will enable her to reach that 2 stone mark eventually. And that is what the problem where we go wrong when it is goal setting, is we look at the end result or these benchmarks without looking at the initial habits we have to create in order to get there. So what will you do if you're watching, there's 18 people watching right this moment, get a pen and paper out, we make it like a nice little interactive exercise. Write down what you want to achieve this year and think to yourself, how long realistically can I achieve that? How long is that going to really take me? Factor in everything else into your life. How often you can train, what sort of job you do. Do you sit down most of the day? Are you quite active? You have to factor in those sort of things as well. How well you're educated with your own nutrition. How many times a week can you train? How many nights out have you got planned? All these factors. Write down all these factors that you think, not going to get in your way, but are going to maybe hinder you getting there from zero to 100 really quick. Because essentially when people look at a target, people want to achieve them really quick. And that's understandable. We all want to hit our goals in the first sort of 6-8 weeks. And we probably can as well. Let's face it, we probably can. But we have to sacrifice a lot in order to hit them goals. And it is not sustainable for the average person who has to go to work, has to look after kids, has to look after a partner, has to do all these things that come into your life, but training and exercise, but training and nutrition, and then put it all together. And then I want you to write out some habits you can form in order for you to get there. So write it down, whether it's be, weight loss, whether it be fitness, like if you're trying to get fitter, okay, obviously, if you're trying to get fitter, you need to go out and, let's say if you're doing a 5K run. So you want to achieve a 5K run for the first time ever. Brilliant, nice goal. So what can you do if you've never run before? Okay, well, I need to get my fitness level up. Maybe I'll start with 10 minutes of jogging every other day. I can tick that, I can tick that, I can tick that. Maybe the week after, I don't know, maybe I could go 15 minutes each day. Tick, 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 tick. Third week, 20 minutes each day. You get my drift where I'm going with this. So they're the giant three things to focus on for 2020. Now, if you've got any questions, please dart them across like ASAP. So I'm not going to be on live for ages because I'm doing 30 of these. So if you have any, there we go. Sarah, Kelly, great advice. Thank you. Get them across nice and early. Come on, 19 people watching. You obviously tuned in for some sort of advice, some help. Get them across nice and early, please. Now, I think, Sarah, you commented in the community group earlier, the CC community group, that you have broken both legs. I'm not making this up as well. This is in the community group. I'm not making up a fake question. This is actually true. Sarah broke both legs and wants to know if she can still upper body train. I would personally say make sure you get the clearance from your doctor before you attempt anything like that. I wouldn't imagine it's particularly safe trying to train upper body if you've broken both your legs, but I would check with your doctor first before I would tell you to go in the gym and just train, because I wouldn't want to recommend that if it is obviously quite a severe injury. All right, Lovely. John, top fan. Oh, John, top fan. Congratulations, mate. Best low calorie, high protein foods to get your protein target up with limited calories. Okay, so best low calorie and high protein food. So if you're looking for something that is purely convenience and relatively low calories, you have to remember every gram of protein is going to be about 4 calories anyway. So obviously if you have something that's really, really high in protein, it's still got times it by 4 at the end of the day. And food generally isn't 100% protein. But the reason why people probably eat it the most, because it is one of the lower calorie, high protein foods, and that is chicken. It's as boring as it sounds, but it is super high in protein and virtually low calorie. Other than that, stuff like whey protein is quite a good convenience way of getting protein in. Obviously not ideal because it is liquid. And the other thing with consuming liquid calories is they don't make you feel very full after. But if it's a way of hitting your protein target, John, I'd recommend maybe like a whey protein of some sort. Sarah said, can I not sit down and do dumbbells? Yes, Sarah, I suppose you could do some exercises with the dumbbells, but I would personally check with your doctor first, just before. You've got to remember, even when you're doing, say, a seated dumbbell shoulder press as well, you're still going to use an element of stabilisation around your core. So I would be a bit wary about that. Make sure your balance is just right before you just start jumping in with exercise. Kelly, everyone needs to hear this video, as I have had at least 10 friends today say that we're all doing a new diet, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, unfortunately, this is like very stereotypical. January, everyone wants to diet, get in shape and whatnot, and companies do a great job of pushing certain supplements and weight loss products our way because it is that time of year and people are looking for the correct answer. But I promise you, if you tune in, guys, to these lives over the next 30 days, or 29 days now, then hopefully I can go more into detail with certain subjects. All you have to do though is let me know what you want me to answer, what you need to know, because essentially I'm just talking to the camera for 15-20 minutes. If you have any specific questions, please get them across. I will keep you anonymous if you want me to. I just want to do my best to help anyone this January with some just good, free, honest advice. Now, the next live will be on Instagram tomorrow morning sometime. So if you haven't got me on Instagram, I will post my Instagram handle now, so you can follow me. Oh, there we go. So yeah, I've posted my Instagram handle there. So if you want to follow me on Instagram as well, you can get a couple of questions across early. And then I believe I'm doing a Facebook live again on Wednesday lunchtime this week. So yeah, any questions, do comment on this post and I'll do my best to answer them next Facebook live. But I hope that helped some people today. I know it can be quite overwhelming when it comes to January. It seems like there's a massive task ahead and it can be quite daunting sometimes, but just focus on the small shit and that will amount to the big shit. On that one, guys, thank you very much. Have a good evening.